What if a single flame could set your investments on fire? At first, it may sound like a metaphor, something poetic or mystical. But pause for a moment and reflect on what fire truly represents. From the beginning of human history, fire has been the element of transformation. It is the force that takes something ordinary and turns it into something extraordinary. A spark becomes light, warmth, and power. Fire consumes, but it also creates. It represents both destruction of the old and illumination of the new. Pay attention. That's why I have a simple invitation for you right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to receive every practice and teaching on abundance. Like this video and share it with someone who also needs to connect with the frequency of prosperity. And write in the comments, I choose abundance now. Now think about how this same energy can be applied to your financial life. How often do we move through our days scattered, unfocused, or distracted? We want prosperity, but our attention is divided between worries, doubts, and endless responsibilities. Without focus, money slips through our fingers. Without intention, investments get postponed, savings get ignored, and dreams stay just out of reach. That's why a ritual is so powerful. It creates a moment of pause, a signal to your mind and body that says, now I am choosing to focus. Lighting a candle is simple, yet profound. The moment you strike the match and watch the flame rise, something shifts inside you. That flicker becomes a beacon. It commands your attention. It draws you into the present moment. The flame does not wander. It burns steady, clear, and bright. And in that stillness, you can redirect your scattered energy into clarity. Just as the flame concentrates energy into light, your ritual concentrates your intention into action. Imagine this. Before making your investment decisions, you sit in front of a candle. You watch the flame for a few seconds. You let it remind you of transformation, that small, steady steps can grow into something powerful over time. In that moment, the flame is not just fire. It is your focus, your discipline, and your commitment embodied. When you connect a ritual to your finances, you turn something that might feel overwhelming into something sacred. Instead of investing being a cold, mechanical task, it becomes a ceremony of creation. The candle flame signals that you are no longer acting out of fear or impulse. You are acting out of clarity and purpose. And each time you light it, you anchor the habit deeper, reminding yourself that wealth is not built by chance, but by consistent intention. Think about how many times you've promised yourself you'd start investing soon. How many times you said you'd set a goal next month. Without a ritual, those promises often fade away. But a candle becomes a trigger, a daily anchor that transforms intention into action. Just as a spark can start a fire, a small ritual can ignite lasting wealth. So the question is this: will you let your financial future remain in the shadows of distraction, or will you light the flame of focus and watch your wealth grow brighter with each spark of intention? Focus is one of the most powerful forces in wealth creation. Without it, even the best intentions scatter into distractions. With it, small actions compound into life-changing results. The promise of the candle flame ritual plus investment goal hack is simple but profound. When you combine focus through ritual with focus through specific goals, you unlock the path to multiplying wealth. The candle flame represents concentration. It reminds you to pause, clear away distractions, and channel your energy into one point. Just as a magnifying glass can turn sunlight into fire when focused, so too can your mind and your money ignite when you learn to concentrate your efforts. Lighting the candle before making financial decisions transforms investing from something abstract and overwhelming into something grounded and intentional. It signals to your subconscious that this is a sacred moment, one where you are choosing clarity over chaos. But the ritual is only half of the equation. The other half is strategy. Too many people keep their financial goals vague. They say things like, I want to invest more, or I should start saving. But without a clear number, there's no real target. That's where the investment goal hack comes in. You don't just wish for growth, You write down exact amounts. $200 a month. $500 a month. Whatever is realistic for you, but specific and measurable. Written goals are far more powerful than thoughts. They create accountability. They turn intention into a plan. Now imagine combining the two. Each month, you light your candle. You focus on the flame, letting it clear your mind. Then you write your exact investment goal for that month. That ritual not only centers your energy, but also locks your intention into paper. Finally, you take action making the transfer, no matter how small. With each repetition, you strengthen both your mindset and your habits. The flame trains your spirit. The written goal trains your discipline. Together, they multiply results. The promise here is not about overnight wealth or quick wins. It's about momentum. When ritual and strategy align, consistency becomes effortless. The flame keeps you anchored, the goals keep you accountable, and the investments keep compounding. Over months and years, this creates exponential growth, the kind of wealth that doesn't just appear suddenly, but builds steadily, unshakably, like fire that spreads from spark to blaze. And here's the deeper promise. You begin to see investing not as a burden or a mystery, but as a practice of empowerment. You stop postponing decisions because the ritual pulls you into action. You stop doubting your progress because the goals give you proof. Every candle you light, every goal you write, every transfer you make becomes evidence that you are not only dreaming of wealth, you are actively igniting it. This is the promise of the candle flame ritual plus investment goal hack. Focus through ritual, focus through goals, and wealth multiplies. Stories are where wisdom becomes real, where an idea turns into living proof. And Julia's journey is the perfect example of how a simple ritual, combined with a clear goal, can transform not just finances but self-belief. For years, Julia dreamed of investing. She read articles, listened to podcasts, and often told herself, "I'll start soon." But each month slipped away. Something always seemed more urgent: bills, social outings, unexpected expenses. Even when she had extra money, she hesitated, telling herself she didn't know enough, or that the timing wasn't right. Her money drifted away as quickly as it came in, and the dream of building wealth stayed just that, a dream. Then one evening, after another month of missed opportunity, Julia decided to change her approach. She remembered how powerful rituals had been in other areas of her life, lighting a candle for focus while studying, or journaling before bed to release her thoughts. She wondered, what if I bring the same energy of ritual into my finances? So she began. She bought a small white candle and placed it on her desk. The next evening, she lit it. She didn't check her phone or let her thoughts wander. Instead, she simply watched the flame for a few moments, letting it center her. In the calm of that flickering light, she opened her journal and wrote, "I will invest $200 this month." That night, she made her first transfer into an investment account. It wasn't huge, but it was real. And for the first time, she felt like she had taken control of her financial future. The candle had shifted her mindset, turning fear and procrastination into calm and action. Month after month, Julia repeated the ritual: candle, journal, goal, transfer. Sometimes the amount was exactly $200. Other times, when things were tight, it was less. But she always wrote something down, and she always moved at least a little money into her portfolio. The ritual anchored her consistency, and the goals gave her direction. 6 months later, she looked at her account and saw $1,200. For the first time, she had money set aside not just for emergencies, but for growth. A year later, the number had climbed to $2,500. By the end of 2 years, her portfolio had reached $5,000. The numbers were important, yes, but even more important was how she felt. Julia no longer saw investing as something intimidating or complicated. She saw it as a practice, a ritual, a way of honoring her future self. Each candle she lit reminded her that small flames grow into steady fires, and small deposits grow into meaningful wealth. Her story is proof that wealth doesn't require perfect knowledge or giant leaps. It requires focus, intention, and small consistent actions. Julia didn't just light a candle, she lit her commitment. And that commitment became the fire that built her financial freedom. One of the most overlooked yet powerful tools in wealth building is setting clear, written goals. Many people have vague ideas about their finances. I want to save more, or I should invest consistently. But vague intentions rarely create real change. The truth is simple. If you don't write down specific numbers and timelines, your brain treats your goal as optional. That's why the investment goal hack works. It turns wishes into commitments by making your intentions visible and measurable. Here's how it works. Instead of keeping your financial goals in your head, take a pen and paper, or even better, a dedicated journal, and write them down in exact terms. Not I'll try to invest this month, but I will invest $200 this month. That clarity is powerful. Your subconscious now sees a concrete target. Each time you read it, you remind yourself of what matters. And each time you take action toward it, you reinforce trust in yourself. Science backs this up. Studies on goal setting show that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them than those who don't. The act of writing creates accountability. It signals to your brain that this is not just a thought, it is a plan. It also helps you track progress, which builds momentum over time. So how can you apply this to your finances? Start small. Choose a realistic monthly investment amount, maybe $50, $100, or $200, depending on your situation. Write it down at the start of each month. Then, treat it like a non-negotiable expense, just like rent or groceries. When you make that transfer, check it off in your journal. That small ritual reinforces your consistency, and consistency is the secret ingredient to wealth building. Think of it this way. Investing isn't about making one giant leap. It's about taking steady steps. Even $200 a month grows into $2,400 in a year, and with compounding, much more over time. The exact amount matters less than the habit. By setting and writing down your monthly investment goal, you shift from being someone who hopes to invest into someone who always invests. That identity shift is what creates lasting results. To make the practice even more powerful, pair it with the candle ritual. Light your candle, focus on the flame, and then write your investment goal in your journal. This combination engages both your spirit and your strategy. The flame gives you focus and presence. The written goal gives you clarity and direction. Together, they transform investing from a stressful task into a sacred commitment. So here's the financial tip. Don't just think about investing. Write down your exact monthly goal, however small, and honor it consistently. Over time, those written words will turn into real numbers in your portfolio. And those numbers will turn into peace, freedom, and prosperity. Fire has always carried a sacred meaning. Since the earliest days of humanity, a flame has been more than just light and warmth. It has been a symbol of transformation. In rituals across cultures, fire has represented purification, clarity, and creation. To sit before a candle is to witness a living metaphor. One spark can break the darkness. One steady flame can sustain hope, and one act of focus can ignite change. Mystically, the candle flame is a reminder that transformation begins with small sparks of intention. When you light a candle for your finances, you are not simply burning wax, you are activating energy. That flame becomes a sacred mirror of your commitment. It focuses your attention, calms your thoughts, and connects your actions with something greater. The ritual tells your spirit, this moment matters. My wealth deserves my presence. The candle anchors you into now, reminding you that abundance is not created by rushing or worrying, but by clarity and intention. Science validates this mystical truth in a very practical way. Studies on attention and productivity show that rituals, even simple ones, increase focus and performance. Lighting a candle before setting goals acts as a cue for your brain. It marks a transition from distraction to concentration. Your nervous system responds by quieting stress and sharpening focus. What feels like magic is also biology. The ritual creates consistency, and consistency builds habits. Then comes the second part, the written goal. Research from goal-setting psychology is clear. People who write down their goals are up to 42% more likely to achieve them than those who only think about them. Writing activates different parts of the brain, encoding the intention more deeply into memory. It transforms an abstract idea into something tangible, something you can see, read, and return to. Pairing written goals with a ritual like candle lighting strengthens the effect. One engages your subconscious through symbolism. The other engages your conscious mind through clarity. Together, the mystical and the scientific create a powerful alignment. The flame represents transformation. The written goal provides direction. The ritual prepares your energy. The strategy ensures your action. Without the candle, investing can feel mechanical and disconnected. Without the written goal, the ritual can feel inspiring but unfocused. But when you unite them, you bridge energy and action. You give yourself both the inner fire to believe and the outer map to achieve. Think of fire itself. It needs both a spark and fuel to keep burning. Your ritual is the spark, the mystical ignition of intention. Your written goal is the fuel, the practical step that sustains progress. Without one, the other fades. With both, you create steady, lasting growth. This is why lighting a candle before setting your investment goal is so transformative. It isn't superstition, it's synergy. Mystical focus calms your spirit. Scientific clarity directs your actions. And together they ignite wealth that grows brighter with time. Rituals are powerful because they transform intention into action. They take something you mean to do and anchor it in a process that you can repeat. The candle flame ritual plus investment goal hack is not just symbolic, it's practical. It connects your inner focus to an external plan. Here's how to bring it to life in your own routine. Step 1. Prepare your space. Choose a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Place a small candle on a table or desk, ideally near where you manage your finances. This doesn't need to be elaborate. Simplicity often carries the most power. Have a notebook and pen ready. This will become your wealth journal. Step 2. Light the candle. Strike the match and watch the flame rise. Take a slow breath as you focus on that single point of light. Let the flame remind you of transformation. How something so small can illuminate a room. Tell yourself, this flame is my focus. This moment is my commitment. By doing this, you are signaling to your subconscious that it is time to step into clarity. Step 3. Clear your mind. Spend 1 or 2 minutes simply watching the flame. Notice how it flickers yet stays steady. Allow it to center your thoughts. If worries arise, imagine them dissolving into the fire, leaving only focus behind. This short pause calms your nervous system, putting you in the right state to make wise financial decisions. Step 4. Write your investment goal. Open your journal and write your exact monthly investment goal. Be specific. I will invest $200 this month. The act of writing transforms a vague intention into a solid commitment. If you can, write it again for emphasis. Seeing the number on paper makes it real. It becomes a promise to yourself. Step 5. Take immediate action. Right after writing, follow through with a transfer into your investment account. It doesn't have to be the full amount all at once. Start with whatever you can today. Even $20 becomes meaningful when it's linked to ritual. What matters is momentum. By acting while the candle burns, you connect intention with execution. Step 6. Affirm your commitment. Once you've taken action, return your gaze to the flame. Say aloud, I ignite my wealth goals now. Speak it with conviction. Feel the words settle in your body. This affirmation seals the ritual, linking your energy to your action. Step 7. Close the ritual. Blow out the candle slowly, watching the smoke rise. As the flame fades, imagine your financial intention taking root and continuing to grow in your life. Close your journal with gratitude, knowing that you've taken one more step toward prosperity. Repeat this process regularly, weekly or monthly, to keep your goals alive. Over time, the ritual becomes second nature. Each candle you light strengthens your focus, each goal you write sharpens your plan, and each transfer you make builds your wealth. Small sparks, repeated with intention, create the steady fire of financial freedom. Every ritual needs a seal, a phrase that doesn't just close the practice but embeds it into your spirit. For the candle flame ritual, that phrase is, I ignite my wealth goals now. At first glance, it may seem like a simple sentence, but within these 6 words lies a code of transformation. Let's break it down and feel its deeper meaning. The first word, I, is the anchor of ownership. It's not someday or someone else, it's you. You are declaring that your financial destiny is in your hands. By starting with I, you stand tall, taking responsibility and power over your wealth journey. The second word, ignite, is fire in motion. To ignite is not just to light, it is to spark something that grows. A single flame, once ignited, has the power to spread into steady fire. When you say ignite, you are calling forth action, passion, and energy. You are refusing to remain passive. Instead, you're choosing to turn intention into flame, ideas into momentum. The third word, my, makes the declaration personal. Too often, people set goals based on what others expect of them. But wealth cannot be borrowed, it must be claimed. By saying my, you mark the goal as your own, rooted in your values, aligned with your dreams. Then comes wealth goals. These 2 words together form the essence of the practice. Goals alone are powerful, but wealth goals are transformative. They represent more than numbers in an account. They are symbols of freedom, security, and possibility. By naming them in your activation phrase, you remind yourself that each deposit is not just money set aside, but a step toward a life of abundance. Finally, now, this is the heartbeat of the phrase. Not tomorrow, not next month, not when I'm ready, now. The candle flame burns in the present moment. It cannot exist in the past or the future. In the same way, your commitment to wealth must happen in the present. By declaring now, you banish procrastination and anchor your energy into immediate action. When spoken together, I ignite my wealth goals now. The phrase becomes a powerful affirmation. It ties the mystical fire of the candle to the scientific clarity of your written goals. It reminds your subconscious that this is not just a dream, but a living commitment. Each repetition reinforces identity. You are someone who takes action, who honors goals, who ignites wealth. Here's how to use it. After writing your monthly goal and making your transfer, look into the candle flame. Place your hand over your heart and say the phrase 3 times. Whisper it once with intention, repeat it again with strength, and finish with full conviction, as though the universe itself must hear you. Let the words vibrate inside you, like fire moving through your spirit. Over time, this phrase becomes more than a sentence. It becomes who you are, a person who doesn't wait, a person who ignites, a person whose wealth grows with clarity, passion, and fire. So the next time you light your candle, let the flame remind you and let the words seal it. I ignite my wealth goals now. Now the flame is in your hands. You've seen how a candle can become more than wax and fire. It can be a symbol of clarity, a reminder of focus, and a spark that sets your financial goals ablaze. But a ritual only has power when it is lived. You can listen, you can imagine, but the transformation begins the moment you act. Here's where your part of the ritual starts. I want you to pause for a moment and look inward. Ask yourself, what is the wealth goal I am ready to ignite today? Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be grand or perfect. Maybe it's $100 invested this month. Maybe it's $500 saved over the next 3 months. Whatever it is, let it rise up from within you. Now take a bold step and declare it. Go to the comments and write these words. I ignite my goals. Don't just type it casually, type it as a declaration. This is not just a comment on a video. It's your contract with yourself, your affirmation to the universe, and your spark of action. When you write it, you're not alone. You'll see hundreds, maybe thousands of others doing the same. Each comment becomes a flame, and together, we build a fire of collective intention that cannot be ignored. Imagine the energy of all those declarations combining, amplifying, supporting. When you read another person's words, it strengthens yours. When they see your words, it strengthens theirs. This is how community turns individual sparks into a blazing fire of transformation. But don't stop with words. After you comment, take one immediate step. Light a candle tonight. Write your exact monthly investment goal in a journal. Make a transfer, no matter how small, toward that goal. Action is the oxygen that keeps the flame alive. The moment you combine declaration with action, you shift from wishing to creating. And if this ritual speaks to you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay connected. Every video here is another spark, another tool to help you align your energy with your money, your rituals with your strategies, your dreams with your reality. By joining this space, you're not just watching, you're participating in a movement of people who are choosing to ignite their wealth with focus and intention. So here's the invitation. Declare it now. Comment, I ignite my goals. Light your candle. Write your number. Take your step. Let today be the day you move from hesitation to ignition. The flame is waiting for you. Your goals are waiting for you. And your wealth is ready to rise bright, steady, unstoppable, just like fire.